Coffee, the beloved beverage of many, has been a staple of daily routines for centuries. With its rich aroma and bold flavors, coffee has become an integral part of cultures around the world. Today's our special interview guest is World Coffee and Good Spirits Championship winner Seung Chan Wi.
Many congratulations for winning the WCiGS Championship. I conduct this interview with Seung Chan Wi through email. Hello, can you introduce yourself first?
Hi, I'm Seung Chan Wi, champion of WCiGS 2024. I work at Edia Coffee Lab in Gangnam, Seoul. My barista career began in earnest since I started working at the Edia Coffee Lab in 2017. Based on my love and passion for specialty coffee at the Edia Coffee Lab, I was able to meet a lot of coffee, from commercial-grade coffee to high-quality coffee, which became the foundation for my growth.
How do you feel after winning the World Coffee and Good Spirits Championship?
Some emotions are indescribable. It is just like as when I first met my blood relatives, or let go of a loved one. Winning the competition was an emotion beyond words. I had mixed feelings about this. Thoughts like happiness, colleagues who trusted and helped me, and hard work and nervous times stuck in my head, and even more so because it was completely unexpected.
What inspired you to become a barista and pursue this career path?
Of course, a cup of coffee led me down this road. When I was studying at university, I ran into an amazing and interesting flavored coffee, and the experience got me into the coffee industry.
Can you describe your journey to becoming a WCiGS champion? What were some of the biggest challenges you faced?
English. Just kidding. The biggest challenge was how to convey cultural differences. I used Cheongju in my competition. Cheongju means clear liquor in Korean, which is a collection of only the clear parts of makgeolli. If you leave makgeolli as it is divided into murky and clear parts. In Korea, Cheongju is a very familiar liquor, but I had a lot of thoughts about how to introduce it, so I prepared it for the judges to taste it at first by introducing it as rice wine, delivering it intuitively, and explaining it sufficiently.
Can you share a memorable experience or highlight from this championship or any of your competition?
Each national team participating in the competition is in a competitive relationship, but more than that. In the backstage, we share our drinks and coffee together, and we embrace and understand each other's cultural backgrounds. And that is the real goal of world competition.
What's the name of your signature winning presentation?
In fact, the name of the drink is a tribute to the deceased. Unfortunately, the coffee farmer I used in the competition, Edwin Cuella Paco, passed away a few weeks before the competition. With a heavy heart, I showcased on the stage the coffee he wanted to show the world. But I couldn't tell the judges at the time because I couldn't convey that sadness.
How did the idea of serving fermentation starter come along?
I wanted to make it easier for the judges to explain my cultural background and the effect of fermentation on taste. In fact, it is very dangerous to offer anything other than designer drinks at the competition. But I thought this would be accepted as a good example of the effect of fermentation on them, and this strategy worked.
What is special about this fermentation starter from other starters that has brought you championship glory?
The fermentation starter, used as Nurik, is a traditional fermentation starter that used to make makgeolli, or Cheongju. This fermentation starter looks like a dough that is germinated by microorganisms from grains such as wheat, barley, or rice. The Japanese method uses koji to convert rice into sugar, and yeast to convert sugar into alcohol. But Nurik performs both tasks in one simultaneous process. So it is more like wild yeast, and also be done at lower temperatures. Low temperature fermentation also had a positive effect on coffee fermentation, as it produced more fruit-like esters.
Can you describe about the drink which you serve along with the fermentation starter?
The coffee I used went through the coffee fermentation process using this fermentation starter, Nurik, during the processing. As I mentioned earlier, it allows fermentation even at low temperatures. So as a result, coffee has a more fruity, floral flavor. And I made a coffee cocktail using rice wine made from the same thing as this fermentation starter and provided it to the judges. It was highly praised for its connectivity and creativity, and it worked well.
How do you balance creativity and consistency in your coffee creations?
The most important thing is connectivity. Add a different flavor to the coffee flavor profile and it should be well connected. If they don't lead to harmony, you should approach them from a different perspective.
How do you handle the pressure and stress of competition?
I usually sleep. The pressure and stress make my mind heavy, which also affects my body. The body and mind are connected, so I get over this through enough sleep and rest.
How do you develop your palate and improve your tasting skills?
Taste is a subjective part, so I get a lot of help from my colleagues. After I taste and express my taste, I get answers from my colleagues about how accurate it is. If I don't get consent, I taste it again and organize my thoughts.
Can you talk about the importance of sourcing quality beans and how it impacts the final cup?
Absolutely. The coffee and good spirit competition requires Irish coffee to be presented on the final stage. It consists of only 4 ingredients: cream, sugar, whiskey, and coffee, of which the quality of coffee is the most important. The quality of coffee is indispensable because it determines how different ingredients are used.
Can you give some tips for making great coffee at home?
Use tools. Use scales and thermometers to measure the exact temperature of the water and the exact amount of coffee. This allows you to quantify the taste of coffee you like.
And finally, if I ask you to suggest me a good coffee blend, then what it would be?
It depends on your relationships. Taste is a subjective part, so it can vary depending on your feelings. So, in my opinion, a good coffee is a coffee you drink with a loved one.